Abbie, we face MAP in the Devon Challenge Cup on Sunday. What's the headspace within the team going? What's it like going into this game at the moment?
Yeah, good. The girls are in good spirits. Obviously, off the back of a fantastic performance on Sunday at the park. So yeah, we're going into the game full of confidence. Training's been really good this week, really preparing for what we know will be a tricky tie. MAP are doing fantastically well in Tier 4 in their first season there, so yeah, the credit to themselves. But yeah, as we always do every week, focus about ourselves, focus on our strengths, and look forward to what will be, I'm sure, a competitive game.
Looking at last weekend, it was a fantastic 6-0 win against Billericay at SJP. Brilliant result that helped boost that all-important goal difference in the league, moving us up the table as well. What have the last few days of reflection from this result looked like?
Yeah, we were really pleased with the overall performance, but there were still a lot of elements that we can fine-tune. I think it's really difficult. We sometimes talk about being in and out of possession and how we need to play in certain styles and play against certain teams, but playing a team against like Billericay, and this is no disrespect to them at all, because I think they've done incredibly well to continue fielding teams week in, week out, and the way in which their players and their staff conduct themselves as well is fantastic. So, but you know, in a game where you have to dominate the ball and you have to make questions and you have to generate just momentum in moments is difficult. You know, you're very rarely facing a team like that in this division. You know, teams will either opt to dominate the ball or sit without the ball and then hurt you on transitions. So for us, we're one of those. We like to hit teams on transitions. So it was nice to see a different side of our game, and it was really good to see, like you said, there's some goals going in, and some things that we've been working on in the training ground come off, and yeah, just really nice to you know, play back at the park in front of the home crowd.
And of course, looking at this Sunday, it's now been moved to our old stomping down at the Exeter Sports Hub. While it on paper it is an away game, I imagine this plays out into our hands being able to have a game close in Exeter again. So I imagine you and the team will look for a good away following on Sunday. Yeah,
absolutely. As you said, it used to be our home venue. You know, we're returning to a venue that is very familiar to us, where we've had some fantastic results and our most successful period of being Exeter City. So yeah, like I said though, it'll be a difficult game. It's almost a little bit of a leveler for them because they are a good passing team. Whereas, you know, we didn't want to be playing on a heavy boggy pitch. So yeah, look, we just got to make sure that we get the day right, in terms of formation, in terms of personnel, because we've got another difficult game coming up just a few days after.
And of course, looking at that game next Wednesday away to Plymouth Argyle at home park, a team that are in their own fight at the top of the league this season. What are your thoughts going into that game as well?
Yeah, they're doing incredibly well. You know, the money that they've spent, the players that they've recruited, you can see why they are where they are in the league. You know, I think they're gearing for promotion. They're really going for it. And as I said already, the money that they've spent on their squad, they should be up there having a fight with the other teams that have, you know, also heavily invested. So it's great for the Southwest. Of course, it is to have a team competing, but we're not too far away in terms of on the pitch stuff. In fact, I still think it'll be an incredibly close game for everything that they've got down there. I still think that there is an element to us. We know what a Devon derby is and like as we experienced earlier in the season. We've got a lot of homegrown players that are chomping at the bit to go down to home park and have a good evening of football. It was a very successful place for us over the years, especially last year. So again, we're looking forward to going down there and hopefully upsetting the home crowd.
And also off the pitch next Wednesday, Argyle have allocated that night to be their celebration of women and young girls in sport. A fantastic event that I'm sure you and all the team here at City are 100% behind.
Absolutely, anything which celebrates the Southwest and the incredible work that goes into what we do down here for women and girls, and not just in football but in sport as a whole, it needs to be celebrated, and yeah, fair play to Argyle for doing it on that night. I'm sure it's going to be a bumper crowd. I'm sure they're coming out to watch an incredible game of football as well, and yeah, we're just really excited and really chomping at the bit for Wednesday, if I'm honest. But we know that we've got to deal with Sunday first, which will be a really difficult test in two different momentum games. So we need to make sure that we're really professional throughout, both in terms of preparation and going into those.
It feels like since the Christmas break we've had our fair share of setbacks in terms of waterlogged pitches, postponements, rearrangements. Just how frustrating has it been throughout this period to navigate this and, you know, try and keep the focus on the football?
Yeah, it's really difficult, you know. Players are emotional people anyway. They've got their own lives going on, and you add, you know, they get in the momentum and they get into the rhythm of games and stuff, and then suddenly that's halted, and schedules have to change, and it's not easy for them to adapt. But we've got a saying amongst ourselves that we can't feel sorry for ourselves, and we're in such a blessed position as it is anyway to be playing football for a great football club, amongst a group of girls that, you know, a lot of these girls would do an awful lot for off the pitch. So we're in a really lucky position and a fortunate position, and we need to remember that sometimes. So it's frustrating as it is to not play football, and as frustrating as it is to have injuries and setbacks. Setbacks only mean comebacks, and it means that we can only look to do better. So yeah, it's difficult, I can't lie to you. And if in an ideal world we'd have been playing, you know, Wednesday, Sunday most weeks to get that real feel of, you know, football week in, week out. But we've been dealt the cards that we've been dealt. We won't moan about that. We'll, you know, puff our chest and come out swinging like we always do.
Thank you very much. Jazz, we've had a few days to reflect on Sunday's win against Billericay at SJP. How proud are you of the team's performance that day?
Yeah, I feel like it was obviously a good performance, a couple of goals scored, probably could have scored a few more. But I felt like second half the team really found some rhythm, and yeah, it was really good to watch.
Of course, your debut in City colours at home as well, with a goal to mark the occasion in front of the big bank. Just talk us through that finish, you know, from a corner on the edge of the box. Just talk us through it.
I feel like there were a few kind of opportunities for the ball to be set back before that, and I kept saying to Ish, like, cut it back, cut it back. So when she finally did give it to me, I just hit it, really. Obviously glad it went in, it fell quite nicely, so yeah, it was good.
Strong crowd at the stadium too that day. How good was it to make that sort of an impact on your first appearance at home as well? I imagine it's a dream debut, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it was really good. It was nice to feel like I was contributing something. Obviously I know that we were winning the game anyway, but it was still nice to like come on and have some form of impact. And yeah, contribute to the team. And
now looking ahead to Sunday, we start our journey in the County Challenge Cup against MAP away from home. What do you think is going to be needed from the team to follow up last weekend's victory with another one this weekend?
I feel like just keeping that same mentality. I think a big focus on us and what we can do, and kind of trying to bring out the principles and the patterns that we've been working on in training and trying to execute and put away our chances, and yeah, same kind of mentality. And
like I said, on paper it is an away game, however it's been rearranged to be played at Exeter Sports Hub, our old stomping ground. I imagine this will be quite advantageous to our fans. You know, we should hopefully get another good crowd down there. How important are they going to be to, you know, help the team see the win through on Sunday?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it was really nice on the weekend, like you could really hear the crowd, so I think being able to do that again is just a good feeling as a player on the pitch, knowing that you've not only got the support of your teammates and the bench and your coaching staff, but also the noise outside of that as well.
It's a period that's seen a lot of injuries within the squad at the moment. How important is it for you as a player to kind of, and for the whole squad as well, to manage loads and, you know, look after yourselves throughout this busy few weeks we've got coming up?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's obviously important, like we're all trying to do our best to get out there, make sure that we can field a strong team. Obviously we've had a few cancelled games, so a busier schedule than normal, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess doing all that we can to make sure that we're able to go out and perform and put out a performance that we're proud of.
And I suppose you've also got one eye on next Wednesday's trip to Home Park when we face Argyle in the your first Devon derby since signing. How excited are you to, you know, go to another big stadium like that and try out the Devon derby?
Yeah, the girls kind of gave me a bit of insight into that the other Wednesday or Tuesday when we were prepping for the Wednesday game. So I'm excited. Hopefully we get the result. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the experience.
And also, it's not just a football game that day. Argyle are also putting on a celebration of women and young girls in sport. How important does it feel like as a player who's in a privileged position to be able to play on the pitch week in, week out? How important is it for events like this to, you know, help the future of women in sport?
Yeah, I think it's really important for young females to have kind of role models that they can directly kind of relate to. I think it's a really good initiative, and yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Fantastic.